If they lose, then as long as they put in a decent shift, then it's no damage done. And you never know, do you? You just never know in the FA Cup. We've seen it already with the win at Cardiff City. We've seen it before when Tyne had turned over higher league teams here, or even at the old Gay Meadow. And I just hope the players have that optimism as well, driven into them by Mickey Mellon. You know, get on the front foot quick and try and cause an upset.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. This is the first game for Shrewsbury in the cup run that isn't televised, of course. First round, actually, I say I lied. The Gainsborough Trinity game was sort of a half broadcast, wasn't it, on BBC? Then Grimsby televised in the first round, the first part at Blundell Park, and then subsequently, of course, the match at Cardiff televised on S4C. This one not. It's the first 3 o'clock Saturday kickoff. Certainly in the cup run, which is something nice about that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, another year this could have been televised as well, couldn't it? It's just that there were a number of other, decent looking ties that were picked rightly ahead of this one, I'd say, if you look at games that were shown.
The stand away to our right hand side, full of Sheffield Wednesday supporters. The town ends not as full as they might have been. People listening probably aware of one or two of the troubles with regard to tickets and the restriction on tickets with supporter numbers, and putting it in some difficulty in a way with having to try and police making sure that Shrewsbury supporters only are inside of the home areas of the ground, but has also resulted in not as large an attendance from a Shrewsbury crowd as would have been the case otherwise, which is disappointing and something that I'm sure the club will probably want to work on in subsequent weeks. Town are attacking the goal to our right hand side, where the Sheffield Wednesday supporters are housed. Town in the normal blue and amber home kits, Sheffield Wednesday in a changed appears almost black away shirt, light blue shorts and black socks with a blue trim.
I can't decide if I like it or not, Andy.
No, it's striking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually not too dissimilar to Shrewsbury's kit in one or two senses. I mean, clearly it is, but then very, very definite blue to it, isn't there? Which Shrewsbury's colours is a different shade, but still it's a beautiful, bright, sunny day. Cold, really cold though, and Sheffield Wednesday on the attack here. Ball through the centre with Matthias, the target, with the insightful ball through by Liam Palmer just along the floor. Matthias running the other way from where the ball was eventually played, so it's through to Jason Leutwiler in his neon green goalkeeping outfit, again with the face mask he's wearing, and he hits out long with his right foot up to the edge of the 18-yard area. Akpo recalled to the team, jumps into the air, he wins nothing, he appeals for a free kick, which isn't forthcoming from the referee, and it's behind for a goal kick for Sheffield Wednesday. Connor Goldson is at the ground watching his former teammates today. Brighton presumably got knocked out, did they? Or they can't remember. Something happened.
It's an interesting day weather-wise here, isn't it? At times it's been beautiful blue skies, the sun's been out, real feeling of spring on the way, but then every time the wind blows in your face, it's bitterly cold, isn't it? If it wasn't for the wind, I think it would be a reasonable enough day, but you can feel that as the game goes on, it's going to get colder and colder.
Yeah. Ball in the arms of Lewis Price, the goalkeeper. I think there's a chap in the Sheffield Wednesday end with no shirt on, isn't there? Just on his own.
Yeah.
Just as though that's what he wants, as though he's on a day out in Morecambe.
Tango Man. I think that is.
Tango Man?
Do you remember Tango Man?
No.
You remember the advert for Tango when there was a guy, bold guy, in orange?
Yeah.
In green and orange. Anyway, I know there's a Sheffield Wednesday fan called Tango Man that goes to games without a shirt on, so I suspect that's him. Pretty rotund, no hair on his head.
He just goes to every game without a shirt on, just because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Why not? Sheffield Wednesday on the ball. Ball played out to the left-hand side here for Joe Bennett. Fairly uneventful opening 3 minutes of this game. Now inside to McGugan. Still Sheffield Wednesday have it inside of their own half. Forward it goes to Bennett. Plays it inside for Geo, but Ian Black has read the danger and intercepts for Shrewsbury. Finding Mangan. Now Whitbread and Dom Smith. Shrewsbury playing with you 3-5-2 again, aren't we? The back three of Dom Smith on the right, Zach Whitbread in the centre, and then Mike Percival on the left. The two full-backs, Jack Grimmer and Junior Brown. And then in the middle, it's from left to right, Clark, Black and Cole, Mangan and McBath up front.
Yeah, it's something I'd like us to stick with for a few weeks. 3-5-2. I just don't think the diamond suits us. A couple of times you've heard the manager say that after disappointing games, the players aren't doing as they're being told to do. And for me, that comes from one or two things. Either that they're intentionally doing something different, and I don't get the feeling we've got troublemakers in the squad, or it's that they don't really understand what they're being told.
Yeah.
And I lean towards the latter of those two and wonder whether it's just a formation that doesn't really suit the players that are being tried to play in it.
And this was the formation that was so successful for us at a lower level last season, wasn't it? And Mickey Mellor, there were occasions when we reverted away from 3-5-2 last season, but generally it worked. And then clearly you've got a change of personnel. One of the things Mickey Mellon said in the summer was that he wanted different players who were more able to adapt to different formations. Felt perhaps as though he was prevented from trying other things last season, but it's almost been as though there's too many changes, and one game to another can be a different formation. Sheffield Wednesday building something in the minute down the right hand side. Cross comes into the penalty area, header away from Zach Whitbread, out as far as the number 10 Lewis McGugan. He has a strike from 25 yards. It's comfortably over the crossbar of Jason Leutwiler's, behind for a Shrewsbury goal kick.
Yeah, Town had done okay in the starting minutes here. That was a decent strike from McGugan, but would have had to pulled out something very, very special from that distance to hurt Jason Leutwiler. Hopefully Shrewsbury just finding their way into the game and making sure everyone gets a touch and just settles their nerves, because I mean, you would have heard the interview, Andy, with Jason Leutwiler on the way into the ground. You know, he was saying Sheffield Wednesday are a big club, and they are. You know, think back to a few years ago, they were an absolute mainstay in the Premier League. They've had many, many years in the top division. They've come in with a packed away end and could have sold that out twice or three times over. Anyone who says they're not a big club is joking themselves, and I'm sure the players recognise that as well, and will just want to get a couple of touches on the ball, settle themselves down, and get a bit of confidence that they can perform today and pull off an upset.
Yeah, so I mean, well, we'll come back to that, because Sheffield Wednesday are building something with Hooper out to Matthias now on the left hand side. Chance maybe for him to cross in. Instead, cuts inside, back to McGugan. Big crossfield switch from him out to the right hand side. Ball bounces before making its way to Liam Palmer, who tries taking on Junior Brown. Brown prevents him from moving further away. Gets a knock against Palmer and out for a Shrewsbury throw in. Wednesday's probably dominating possession and territory thus far, but other than that speculative effort from McGugan, nothing of any goal note for either team. I mean, it's an unnecessary question, isn't it, to go into? But I mean, Sheffield Wednesday have actually been struggling in the lower end of the Championship for quite a few seasons, haven't they? And obviously did go down into League One, where Shrewsbury are now, a couple of seasons ago. I think, like Wolves, only here for 1 or 2 seasons. And it's a funny club, isn't it? You know, it's kind of seems to be a sleeping giant in a sense. But then, if you were ranking the clubs in order from top to bottom in the 92, you probably put them somewhere like 30th or something like that. I don't know. Cross comes in from Bennett, which Whitbread nicks away. McGugan now picks it up just inside of the Shrewsbury half. And to the left hand side once more for Bennett. Now to Michael Turner. It is a shame in a way that Shrewsbury's ground can't accommodate more. As you say, you know, you could have probably got 6, 7, 8,000 Sheffield Wednesday supporters here. A great payday in that respect, wouldn't you? But just not possible for Town in these facilities. Town through Mangan has a chase on, keeps the ball in play down the left hand side, able to track back and find Clark with the ball, just a ball over the top. Now Ian Black, chance for him to strike from the edge of the 18-yard area, does so with his left foot. It was a bit of an angle on it, made it difficult for him to get any proper connection. Harmlessly wide of the left hand post of Lewis Price. Goal kick for Sheffield Wednesday. Had
a bit more time there than he probably thought. Ian Black, not used to maybe being in such an advanced position. A lovely little ball inside from Jordan Clark, found Ian Black, and he immediately swung his left foot at it. He probably could have brought it down, but that's decent from Shrewsbury. Andy Mangan, as usual, playing on the last man, trying to get in behind the opponent's defence. and Shrewsbury got to try and expose that whenever they can.
Dom Smith recalled to the team. I think his last game was at Chesterfield, wasn't it, Dom Smith? Back into the team today. Just clears the ball defensively on that occasion. And a couple of poor games, I think, in the team, Dom Smith. So hoping that it's a bit of a time away and able to start showing some of the promise that he clearly has. Shrewsbury have a throw in on this right hand side with Jack Grimmer throwing it in towards Lionel Cole, deep in the Sheffield Wednesday territory. Cole unable to prevent Matthias nicking it away from him, and it is the number 7 for Sheffield Wednesday can clear. Whitbread heads back down into the corner and out for a Sheffield Wednesday throw in right by the corner flag.
One of a few Shrewsbury youth team products that have been pushed out to right back, hasn't he? Dom Smith, in a number of games he's played this year. Certainly looks more comfortable in the centre half position. I always think the other plus point of a back three as well is that when you have a player like that, will just break.
Yeah, Akpo was well, he's been just been fouled at the Shrewsbury free kick. It was a bit fortunate. It was a misplaced pass for Sheffield Wednesday, which was picked up on by Akpo 25 yards from goal, just to the right of the centre of the 18-yard area, and he nudged it past his man and then ran into him, and so got the free kick. Tyne will have an opportunity to strike towards goal here, in, dare I say, not too dissimilar a position to Nigel Jempson against Everton. The free kick that he shuffled in, perhaps just a yard or two further to the right.
I think I'd rather have Nigel Jempson over this than Ian Black or Junior Brown.
Yeah.
Let's see what they can do.
So, see if they make us eat our words. Black's over it as though he could strike it with his right, Brown with his left, and Black's now running away. Oh, is he? No, actually, Mike Jackson told him to come back and actually to provide the dummy. So it's played in by Junior Brown. Good 5 yards over the crossbar. Never even looked likely to hit the target, did he?
It's a strange one, isn't he, Junior Brown? Because at times he can really pull out something out of his top hat that really surprises us. I think back to that Burton game at home earlier in the season when he had 2 long-range efforts that hit the crossbar and the post. And you think, crikey, this boy's got something about him. And then he does something like that. Yeah. Shame, really. Shrewsbury are going to have to make the most out of their attacking opportunities, and that's certainly one that's gone wasted.
Big clearance away then from the goal kick by Lewis Price. To the left hand side for Bennett. Seen plenty of the ball in the early stages. The number 12 for Sheffield Wednesday. Tyne supporters in block 19 making a bit of noise, more so than Tuesday certainly. This is a chance maybe for McGugan. McGugan tries slipping it through to Sagu, and it's overhit and claimed by Jason Lloydwell. That was a decent run by Sheffield Wednesday, running with pace from the centre was McGugan. I thought he was shaping up to strike it himself. That seemed to be in hindsight, it was the best option, but he ends up trying to play it through to Sugu. Overcomplicated it perhaps. Shrewsbury though on the attack themselves now down the right hand side. This is a couple of nice touches by Akpo and then Clark. Ball coming over the shoulder of Akpo, and he controlled it really deftly, nudged it inside to Clark, whose skill evaded him from his marker for a moment, but then another one came across and took the ball away.
And just back to that break for Sheffield Wednesday before, McGugan looks a real class act, doesn't he? He's been involved in all Sheffield Wednesday's decent attacking play so far, and Tyne needs to be wary of that.
Yeah, also possible foul there by Zach Whitbread. He's clearly got a hand on Geo. His shirt seemed to be tugged, and Geo went down. I think the referee's lack of any decision, probably based on the thought that Geo is more than capable of holding his own and doesn't need to go down quite as dramatically as he did.
The linesman was very close to that as well, wasn't he? And kept his flag down.
Tom Smith to Grimmer. Whitbread in the middle of the park. Difficult ball for him to control, and he's oh dear me, he's dummied his way past Geo and then also past Matthias. If either of them had got the tackle in, then no doubt about it, Shrewsbury would have been in major trouble. And he gets away with it. The ball back to the Sheffield Wednesday stopper now, hit up towards the halfway line. We've had 30 minutes gone. Shrewsbury 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Mangan fouled. by Samido. Bit of a nonsense free kick, just a tangle of legs, and Mangan goes to the ground, and the referee seemed a little bit reluctant himself to award that one.
Just whoever got there first was going to have the free kick, I think, in that case.
Yeah. Ball is played by Black. Terrible ball, just straight down the middle of the park. I don't think anyone from the Shrewsbury point of view was actually looking at the ball. Mangan was still chasing towards the goal, and goes harmlessly through to the goalkeeper. I suppose also something to just give a nudge about the wind having a possible factor on this game. It is a blowy, blustery day, meant to be even more so tomorrow and Monday, isn't it? But whether that knock by Ian Black was just taken away a little bit by the wind, not entirely sure.
He just rushed it again, and sometimes in these scenarios where you're playing a team from a higher league, there is that little bit of an adrenaline rush where maybe in a normal league game you take your time a little bit and just wait for the best option to come and show itself.
Ian Black fouled again as he jumps for a header. Shrewsbury free kick inside of their own half. It's, how would you describe it? Fairly nondescript 15 minutes, isn't it? It's exactly 15 minutes. It's neither team doing much to threaten the other. Of course, I'm sure you'll be familiar. It will be a replay back at Hillsborough if it was to be a draw at the end of this game. A week on Tuesday. Been to Hillsborough?
No. You?
Yeah, I went to see. I tell you what, I think I went to see Sheffield Wednesday Wrexham.
Really?
A few years ago, yeah, in the home end, obviously. One of those times when
in the cup.
No, it was a league end. It would have been the late 90s probably. I think was Sheffield Wednesday down at that, or late 90s, not late 90s, early thousands probably, early mid thousands. I think that Sheffield Wednesday were down in League One.
How times change, huh?
Yeah, exactly. It was a free weekend for Shrewsbury, and so not to grind off the list. It's a sort of famous old stadium, isn't it? But quite dilapidated. Here's a chance here for Mangan. There's a ball through the middle, which again, as Ant said, just latching on to the last man on his shoulder, and a simple ball through caused Mangan causing sort of problems for Sheffield Wednesday. It was just perhaps a yard too far ahead of him, and the goalkeeper coming out to the edge of the area able to get both hands on the ball.
You wonder if he just didn't quite know where the ball was, Andy Mangan. He was looking around a bit as if to say, is it coming on my left or right hand side? But again, good strength over on the far side by Akra, and a nice little ball through. Those two of course linked up for the Lake Town winner at Burton last Saturday. It was Mangan's through ball to Akra on that occasion, allowed the ex-Tranmere man to cross for Sean Woolley.
Matthias with a big crossfield switch from left to right. Wednesday with the ball with their defence, being walked out by Sasso. Receives the ball back again, just inside of the Sheffield Wednesday half. Went to the left-hand side, and that's a terrible ball by, I think it might be Michael Turner. He's sliced the ball away from the middle of the park out to the Sheffield Wednesday left, and out for a Shrewsbury throw in, which Jack Primmer will have by the halfway line. Michael Turner, that's not the former Hull man, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Very, very good centre half.
Yeah, didn't show it there, but decent pedigree, hasn't he? Shrewsbury with the throw again here. Jack Grimmer, midway inside of the Sheffield Wednesday half with the throw in towards Mangan. Takes a touch, got Turner at his back. Turner's able to nip it away from his feet. Mangan goes to ground, but play will continue nonetheless. Matthias tries to go past Grimmer, Whitbread, who sticks out a foot, brings Matthias to the ground. Touch fortunate that he's not getting a talking to or even a yellow card from the referee there, because that was a purposeful run from the number 7 for Sheffield Wednesday. Whitbread, I think, just recognised that he was about to get beaten and made sure the man went down.
Yeah, don't mind him doing that. Andy stepped out of defence and at least tried to stop the Sheffield Wednesday man.
He seems to do it once or twice every game, and I think he'll probably do it again at some point today if he's not on a yellow card. It's a second half, that's a yellow card offence almost every time out, isn't it? A free kick for Sheffield Wednesday, Guggen over it, possibility of a shot from here from the number 10, but instead floated in. It's a goal for Sheffield Wednesday. It's poor goalkeeping, it's poor defending by everyone, and it's a whipped in ball. it bounced in front of the goalkeeper. No one defended it. No one really attacked it. I think it will go down as McGugan's goal, won't it? Bounced just inside the 6-yard box and into the back of the net. 1-0.
It was. I mean, it was a great free kick. I'm not sure that he was trying to shoot at all, McGugan, but he did that thing where he beat the first man, he had plenty of whip on it. It was attacked by the Sheffield Wednesday players, even though no one got a touch, and it beat the goalkeeper at the far post. And it was just that uncertainty from the Shrewsbury goalkeeper. He didn't know what to do, did he? He didn't know whether to stay on his line and hope someone would clear it, come and get it and try and punch it away or catch it. And it's gone through and beaten everyone. But that's why the free kick from Brown a few minutes ago was so frustrating, because it was not in a dissimilar position at all.
No.
And it went 6-7 yards over the bar. It was powder puff at best.
That's it. If you get the opportunity to put a ball into the penalty area, then you've got to use it, haven't you? It was just dreadful free kick from Brown. And you're right to make the analogy. It was the opposite side of it's the same side of the pitch, but opposite. If you appreciate that, there's the two goals are opposite one another. So this one played from the Sheffield Wednesday left, and just no one there to properly defend for Shrewsbury. Mangan's gone down again, and the second time he's gone down now in the match. I'm not sure if he's struggling with something. Shrewsbury looking to attack down the left-hand side. Akbaro giving chase and gets into a bit of a corridor, gets into a bit of a false end. What's the word? When you're trapped. He's trapped, and he gives the ball away, and Sheffield Wednesday clear. And
we'll just keep an eye on Andy Mangan, because a couple of times he's gone down. Looks to be running freely enough. Maybe just trying to get the referee on his side, perhaps. Shrewsbury need to make sure he stays fit.
Tom Smith making the tackle here on J.O. for a Sheffield Wednesday throw in on this left hand side. Bennett to take. It throws it backwards to Lewis McGugan. I mean, it is a very different game this to the last big cup game we had. I'll just break because Sheffield Wednesday having the ball in the shooting penalty area. Smith will be able to clear that. The last big cup game, home against Chelsea, of course, and there you've got the crowd so ready for it, hadn't you? You've got the players so ready for it, and neither of those two things have appeared to have applied thus far in this game. And it's a very different game. The stadiums are half as full as it was that day, and all the rest of it. But Shrewsbury haven't really got going as yet.
No, they haven't. Unfortunately, if it wasn't for the goal, we've said this a few times this season, but if it wasn't for the goal, you'd say actually Shrewsbury have done okay. And they've battled hard, and at times they've gone forward okay, but the goals make such a difference, don't they? It'll be interesting to see. Shrewsbury need to respond in a very positive way. Really do.
Zach Whitbread is there to prevent the ball reaching Sugu, and intelligently finds Brown with the pass. Brown's ball upfield though goes straight to Turner for Sheffield Wednesday, and the away side can clear to their goalkeeper. I know what you're saying, right? You're doing okay. It's just a game. It's just 20 minutes into this match, and we haven't really seen Lewis Price having to do anything, have we? That's just, you expect to have troubles against higher league opposition. I suppose it's just a continuation of Tuesday as well, isn't it, where we did very little to cause any sort of difficulty for the Oldham stopper.
Yeah.
So tolerance is lesser perhaps as Wednesday have the ball upfield. It goes to Sugu. Wednesday just playing at a pedestrian pace on the halfway line.
Yeah, Shrewsbury have got to be careful here not to concede a second goal. Obvious. I mean, it's an obvious thing to say, but as well as we want them just to throw men forward, they've got to stay in contention in this game, haven't they? That's the most key thing. We've seen it a few times in recent weeks. They go 2 goals down and you think, oh, Crockett, there's no chance here. Yeah. Whereas if it stays at 1,
always the possibilities. This ball will run out for a Shrewsbury throw in by their own corner flag. We're 23 minutes into this game, and we'll see you through to half time.
Yeah, and the tide going with a higher league side at the moment. A goal from Lewis McGugan. He's looked the best player on the pitch by some distance. It's the Sheffield Wednesday fans making a noise at the moment away to our right hand side. Jack Grimmer has a throw-in for Shrewsbury. He was speaking on the radio earlier very fondly of his experiences in the Cup so far. Played a lot in Fulham's Cup run last year, beat the likes of Wolves. I don't know if they beat Sunderland, but he was involved in 2 games against them as they went to a replay. Here's Jordan Clark now, nice little move away to take him past 2 Sheffield Wednesday players, but his through ball towards Jean-Louis Akpro finds a defender. Clark continues to put the pressure on the goalkeeper, who clears away well, and Wednesday have possession back only momentarily as it's sliced away for a Shrewsbury throw. But Clark, another player that's been on the periphery, hasn't he, this season, has done some absolutely brilliant things, Jordan Clark. I mean, you think of the performance away at his former club Barnsley, where he scored that last gasp winner, but had a very impressive performance, and then also the goal at home to Fleetwood. It only resulted in the draw for Shrewsbury, but it was really good stuff from Jordan Clark to set up the opportunity. And he's got that little bit of stuff in his locker, Yorkshire boy of course, that can take him past a player or two. Here's Jean-Louis Akpro, flicks it inside for Clark. Clark flicking it forward towards Lionel Cole. He's beaten to it by Turner, and Wednesday now a chance to break. Really good ball from Cahugan. I spoke too soon though, and McGugan's pass just runs out of play for a Shrewsbury throw. But Clark and Lionel Cole, those are the kind of players that need to show a bit of skill, don't they? Show a little bit of something extra in this Shrewsbury lineup.
Yeah,
a lot of Cole so far.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is about, it's not about their skill, is it? Because we know that they've got capabilities to hurt Sheffield Wednesday. They on their day, they could play at a high level.
Breaking forward towards the edge of the area. 2 men around him. He's pushed wide. Finds Junior Brown. Brown cuts inside onto his right foot. Might fancy a shot here. Does. Deflects. And it's wide for a corner kick. Much better from Shrewsbury. First time we've really seen Junior Brown get forward into an advanced position and Town have a corner.
Yeah, decent strike. The point I was making is it's about consistency, isn't it? And Lionel Cole and Jordan Clark might be as good as the Sheffield Wednesday counterparts on their day, but they just don't do it as consistently as Sheffield Wednesday. So if they can find that skill today, then we might see something from them.
It's going to be Ian Black to take this corner. The wind really starting to get stronger here at the Greenhouse Meadow. Town using their advantage. It's Black over towards the far post. There's 2 Town players there, and it's flicked away by a Wednesday defender for another corner. Much better delivery from that set piece, this time from Ian Black, and it'll be Black who comes across all the way to the other side to take this corner as well.
Nice delivery, just under the goal mouth and the sort of back post area, and something for Shrewsbury to really attack, cause a bit of problems for Wednesday. Yeah,
it was very well floated in. He got the wind on his back, Ian Black. You've got to be careful not to hit it too hard, and he did that. What can he do from this side? Well, the referee's just going to delay the taking of this corner. He's seen a bit of pushing and shoving between players on opposite sides. He's making some hand gestures towards a group of players huddled together in the centre, and here comes the corner from Black in towards the far post. Again, there's a shooting man there. It's flicked away as Knight Percival looking to strike. It'll be kept in by Mangan on the far side. Plenty still forward there. Mangan, well, I'm not sure what he was trying to do there, but he's given the ball away, and Wednesday now can break perhaps. They've got the ball in their right back position. It's belted forward up into the air towards halfway. McGugan's there, brings it down, but Shrewsbury have players back, and they will retain possession and go back to goalkeeper Jason Leutwiler. We'll get another decent delivery from Ian Black. Not too sure what Andy Mangan was trying over on the far side.
No, it nearly fell to Dom Smith, didn't it? Dom Smith was well poised for the header at the back post and sort of headed thin air in the end, because it just deflected off a Wednesday head before it reached him. Yeah, I agree with you about Andy Mangan. I think he got colourblind, to be honest.
Here's Grimmer. He's managed to keep the ball in towards the final third now. Grimmer takes it past one man, but Bennett's there, should be able to run it out for a goal kick, and does, despite the best efforts of Jack Grimmer. And we're just starting to see signs of Shrewsbury's wing backs getting forward. And we talk about it every time Town play 5 across the middle. You need that support going forward from Brown and Grimmer. And Jack Grimmer did well in the first instance there to keep the ball in. Unfortunately couldn't create a chance for his side.
But he's got that pace, hasn't he? And that's what he used then. He beat one, very nearly beat the other. He's got a willingness to run at players, a bit of doesn't have any fear, does he? No. Taking a man on.
Here's Knight Percival down the line to Akpro, deep in the corner, 2 men around him, and he's going to throw in for a side. Yes, he has, and it's been a decent response, Andy, to Town going a goal down now, just starting to edge their way back.
Tempo's increased, definitely, isn't it? It's what it needed to be, because I think immediately after the goal, Sheffield Wednesday continued to just be able to be quite pedestrian and keep hold of the ball without Shrewsbury preventing them from doing that, whereas we've seen far more of Shrewsbury in the last few minutes.
Yeah. Tyne have a throw in here again. It looked as though the pass from Clark hadn't been read by Junior Brown. A Wednesday man just went to running out of play for a throw in, and you could clearly see it hit his foot just before it went out. It was a poor estimate from the Wednesday man. Here's Junior Brown to Akpro. Early cross in towards the back post. Mangan's lurking. It's headed away and completed is the clearance to the halfway line. But Shrewsbury starting to see more of the ball now. Here's Whitbread with a through ball to Cole. Cole's pass is poor though, and it's picked up by McGugan. Over halfway line he goes. Outside of the foot pass, looking for one of the strikers, but Whitbread reads it well, and here's Clark. Does keep possession this time. So Lionel Cole, and it's chipped forward, headed back by Turner, only as far as Dom Smith, and McGugan there to retain possession for the away side, and it's flicked away over into the right back position for Sheffield Wednesday. We're very nearly at 30 minutes on the clock, and Tyne trailing to that McGugan free kick. Not sure if it was intentional or not, but what it was a very, very dangerous delivery from the Sheffield Wednesday man, and it deceived everyone. The blue and amber persuasion, including the goalkeeper Jason Lloydwaller. Here's the away side now. Long ball over the top, headed away by Zach Whitbread. Now it's Clark to Cole over the halfway line. Has he had his legs caught there? No, fair challenge, says the referee. It's the annoyance of the home fans. But Shrewsbury are starting to make a fight of it here in this fourth round FA Cup.
Really intelligent ball that from Jordan Clark.
He looks up for it, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Yeah, playing well there, Jordan Clark.
Not that he doesn't look up for it in most games. I just feel as though he's got something a bit about himself today, maybe an air of confidence. And when you're that kind of player, well, you've got to try things, then you know sometimes that it's going to be a profitable afternoon. But it's
called to the team as well, isn't he? You know, wants to make sure he stays in the team now.
Wednesday's turn to attack though, and they had the ball on the right hand side. A couple of players waiting for a pass in the area. Hooper drops deep and tries to flick the ball in behind. It's a poor pass though, and Junior Brown will be able to clear his lines for Shrewsbury. Forward it goes to Akpro, chests it down looking for Clark, beaten to it, but has won it back, Jordan Clark. And now Akpro again, 2 men around him. Can he keep possession? Yes he can, and he's won a free kick for his side. And Tyne think about taking it quickly, they won't do though. But again, Akpro, decent intervention there by the French striker, and Shrewsbury had possession back now. It's taken to Junior Brown on the left hand side. 10 yards or so into the Sheffield Wednesday half. Hasn't got a great deal of options on at the moment, so goes back to Mike Percival. And he'll dink it down the line looking for the run of Mangan. That run he makes so often down the left channel. Here he is. Chips the ball into the centre, deflected. It's headed away to the edge of the area. 2 Shrewsbury man there though. One of them is Jordan Clark. Clark takes it past the man, crosses it. Will it come to Cole? It will. Can't get a shot away. It'll come back to Mangan. Great last ditch challenge by a Wednesday man just as Mangan was looking to pounce, and Jordan Clark very nearly wins the ball back, but the Tyne fans are buoyed by that and just use it as a chance to get behind their side. And they have it back now with Dom Smith and Akpro and Black once more. Akpro again. It's a poor pass, and Black tries to foul his man, but he's can't quite do it, and the referee waves advantage. And there's a man over here for Sheffield Wednesday running down the right hand side. 3 in the centre. Here comes the cross. It's a terrible cross. It's behind for a goal kick, and finally Andy Tyne pulling ahead of steam a little bit here and starting to show their championship opponents what they're made of.
Yes, a couple of sort of deflections, weren't there, in the 18-yard box that meant the ball just spun to another Shrewsbury man, and that was no more apparent than Lionel Cole, where I think a leg had been stuck out by a Sheffield Wednesday man to deflect the ball away off Cole, and then it fell to Mangan. So he was the closest to having the strike. If he'd have been able to get that one off his right foot, then Shrewsbury will probably be looking at the equaliser.
Good play again.
Right, tempo's just increased, isn't it?
Yeah, good play again from Clark. You know, he was the first to react when the ball popped up free on the corner of the penalty area, and then again he took it past his man and put a good low cross in, and Cole just wasn't quite quick enough to get there. Same with Mangan actually. He read it well that the ball was going to come out for a shot, but it was very good defending by the Sheffield Wednesday man to get a block in. We've just got a break in play here because Ian Black, who has injured himself trying to foul the Sheffield Wednesday man, I think that's the most accurate way to describe it, spotted that Wednesday were on for a quick break, tried to take his man down. The referee played an advantage, and I suspect he's lucky in a way, because if the referee had blown up for a free kick, he would have almost certainly been yellow carded. He's back to his feet now, gingerly walking off the pitch. Hopefully he'll be okay to continue. And Shrewsbury are restarting play with a goal kick.
Just thinking, you know, I mean, I remember mid-90s, I had a blue and white scarf, because that's the colour Shrewsbury used to play in, wasn't it? And then you don't see, no, well, before that, you know, sort of 90,
yeah, that's right, when we won the league, I suppose.
Yeah,
we were blue and white one with our and amber WSJ logo.
And I wonder if any Shrewsbury supporters still just have blue and white scarves. That was one of the big controversies, wasn't it, moving to the stadium with the seats ended up being in amber rather than white.
Yeah, there was more controversy that they started out by being white and then it was changed, and then of course Shrewsbury reverted to an all blue shirt, didn't they, for the 125th anniversary season. As Junior Brown adjudged to have fouled his man, much to the annoyance of the West Stand over on that far side. And you look back in history, and Town did play in blue and white for many, many years, didn't they, in their kind of earlier years. I think it was only Tim Yates who actually brought amber back into the kit. I think it's because it was a racehorse that he owned. His colours were blue and amber, and so he decided to reinstigate them into the Shrewsbury look in their kits. Here comes Sheffield Wednesday now with the ball 30 yards from goal. It's Hooper, it's laid off, but it's a poor touch, and Junior Brown should be able to complete a clearance here. So then it goes back to Jason Leutwiler, puts him under a little bit of pressure. He clears, it's flicked into the air by Jordan Clark and picked up by a Wednesday man. Headed forward, but Shrewsbury have it back again with Smith. Smith going for safety first on this occasion, only finds Turner in the Sheffield Wednesday defence, and he finds Bennett. His debut on loan from Aston Villa, the left back. It's very neat and tidy so far. Has seen quite a lot of the ball. And we'll go back to Turner once more. 35.5 minutes on the clock here at the Greenhouse Meadow. It's still Shrewsbury Town 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. The Owls lead by Lewis McGugan's free kick. He curled in to the far post, beat everyone. And Shrewsbury have put in a spirited performance since then, although they're on the back foot a little bit here. But Jack Grimmer wins it back, and now Lionel Cole can find Jordan Clark as Junior Brown in support. And Brown, well marshalled, just about keeps possession, finds Clark again. Clark very tight over on the touchline, but he gets the ball back to Knight Purcell, who's seen enough, tries to chip it forward. It's curled out of play, and it'll be a Sheffield Wednesday throw. And the crowd just settled down again, haven't they? Almost that break in play when Ian Black went down injured gave everyone a chance for a little break. Perhaps the Sheffield Wednesday manager just saying to his players, we just need to buck our ideas a little bit up here. Just because we've got the opening goal doesn't mean the game's won. And they look a little more composed now, and they have the ball on this left hand side with Bennett to Matthias, back to the Aston Villa loney. It's flick, lovely little flick down the line to Matthias. He's caught by Jack Grimmer, and Jack Grimmer will be the first man into the referee's notebook this afternoon. Can't have any real complaints there. It was a lovely little 1-2 between Matthias and one of his teammates, and Grimmer slid in hoping to nick the ball away, but it was always second favourite to get there. And it's a yellow card for the Shrewsbury on loan man, and more worryingly it's another chance for Lewis McGugan to swing a ball in from a very similar position to from where he scored.
Yeah, almost identical, isn't it? It's a bit of a worry, this. Jason Leutwiler spending quite some time in marshalling a two-man wall. It's the same number of people in the wall as last time.
Yeah, Shrewsbury almost to push out a little bit here and give a little bit of space for their goalkeeper, but they're holding quite a deep line. Zach Woodbred trying to get the team out, but they're not listening. McGugan swings in, dangerous again, and flicked over the bar. Another really good delivery from the Sheffield Wednesday number 10. It was a lower one this time. It dipped once it got over the two-man Shrewsbury wall. There was a Wednesday man there, and he tried to acrobatically flick it towards goal, and it's over the bar, and a bit of a let off for the home side.
But you're right, good ball in. It just gives you something to go on, doesn't it? You know, the Sheffield Wednesday man got there first and tried to sort of back heel flick type thing towards goal. Okay, it didn't come off, but the delivery meant that you gave your strikers, the people going for the chance, a go.
Flick back into Shrewsbury territory here. Dom Smith with a header. Jordan Clark quickest to the second ball. Can't keep possession though for Shrewsbury on this occasion. It's the away side who've had a decent little spell here for 2 or 3 minutes as they look to get a second goal before the break. And they've got it with the impressive McGugan in the centre of midfield, just over halfway. Spreads it out wide to Semedo. Back it goes to the defence. Wednesday happy to keep the ball. And it's with Turner now. Bright green boots completing his outfit. Spreads play to the left back. He brings it forward, and again Wednesday happy not to push things forward too quickly here. Just keep possession. Maybe he'll turn on the tempo a little bit here now, and McGugan again inside of the centre circle. How wide it goes to Bennett. It's the Shrewsbury fans making the noise though, still trying to back their side. Tie's not over yet, and Shrewsbury win it back. It's well read. Arnold Cole finds Andy Mangan, he's got a man on him. Decent ball into Akra, holds off one challenge and finds Ian Black midway inside of the Wednesday half. Those two exchange passes again, and now Black, intelligent ball to Cole. Space for Grimm on the right hand side now, 3 in the area to aim for. He gets a cross into the centre, comes to Mangan, can he swivel and shoot? Plays it towards Cole, and it runs out of play for a goal kick. It was a lovely little ball for Andy Mangan, but unfortunately Lionel Cole hadn't spotted it. You kind of understand that. You think Andy Mangan's going to try and swivel and shoot as quickly as possible, but better from Shrewsbury. That nice, the way that they work that bit of play. Plenty of players involved. Decent cross in from Jack Grimmer, and again some signs that the manager will point to and say, look, we can get back into this game.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you entirely about the swivel and shot there. Look for all the world that Andy Mangan was going to smack it himself, and that's what he's a goal scorer, isn't he? But that Lionel Cole wasn't anticipating the ball to come into him. If he had been, perfect ball, and Lionel Cole would have been one-on-one with the goalkeeper effectively.
Some build-up play from Shrewsbury. Here's Bennett now. Again, seeing plenty of the ball, as is Matthias, chipping the ball over the top of the Shrewsbury defence, but Zach Woodbred is there. He can bring the ball away for Shrewsbury here and find Junior Brown. He's closed down quickly. Ooh, a bit of a bobbler as he passes it back to Nathaniel Knight-Percival, and he goes back to the goalkeeper Leutwiler. A random shouted forward from the family stand, you do wonder sometimes. And here's Ian Black out wide to Grimmer. Checked by Matthias, so goes back to Black once more, and Black now will look for the run of Akparakpos on the slide. Can't stretch far enough though, and it goes all the way through to Lewis Price. 34 on his back for the Wednesday goalkeeper, and he quickly bowls it out to the right back for Wednesday. Town attacking that packed Provision CCTV stand away to our right hand side.
Not made a lot of noise, have they, Sheffield Wednesday fans?
No, they've shown that they can make a lot of noise when they're up for it, but it's been in fits and spurts.
It's quite a steady game, isn't it, I suppose, for them so far?
They'll be delighted, won't they? Yeah, because they've seen most of the possession. They've not always looked comfortable, but they've looked a threat when they come forward, and here they come forward again now with Jowo, and is challenged by Dom Smith, and not only is Dom Smith dispossessed the Sheffield Wednesday man, he's managed to nick it against the Wednesday striker and away for a Shrewsbury goal kick.
Well, perfect. Yeah. Perfect from there.
He's done okay, hasn't he, Dom Smith, so far?
Yeah, no complaints. No complaints at all. Up against some very decent, pacey opponents, so I think that's probably one of the things that Mickey Mellon's thought about as well, isn't it? Wanting to get a bit of pace into the Shrewsbury defence to counter that.
I'm surprised he's not played in that central half position a bit more, actually, Smith, because he's done well for me in that position. It's a right back where he's looked exposed, and I kind of understand that, given it's not his natural position. But he's certainly someone who the manager does rate, perhaps a little bit more long term than in the here and now, but he's having a very steady game so far, Dom Smith. Poor touch there by Lionel Cole. The ball's out of play for a Wednesday throw, and they've worked it from left to right. Happy just to keep possession at the moment. There's a couple of Shrewsbury players not available today due to being cup tied, but time to have the likes of Sean Woolley, Scott Verdon, Habu Ogogo back on the bench, and James Wallace, and also an appearance for youth striker Ethan Jones. Well, he's not a youth striker, is he? He's got a pro contract, but we haven't seen him involved in the first team squad thus far. See if Shrewsbury decide they need to make some changes. Here's Sheffield Wednesday coming forward. High ball into the area. Smith's there. Good header away to the edge of the area, and Brian gets a touch in, but it falls for a Wednesday player. Dangerous into the area. Matthias shoots. It's palmed away. Unfortunately for Shrewsbury, it falls at the feet of Ian Black, just out of the stretch of a Wednesday player. It was dangerous, that, and Leutwiler's save Well, they pushed it back into a dangerous position, and Shrewsbury fortunate that it fell to one of their men. That would have been a killer, a second goal 90 seconds before the break.
Yeah, Jason Lloyd fortunate as well because he's got the save, but only palmed it straight back into the centre and thankfully away from the man. But I don't know if he had much control as to whether that save was going to the onrushing Wednesday striker or not. He's kind of a little bit unfortunate in terms of how the shot came about. I thought that it was a pretty fortunate knock against a Sheffield Wednesday man. I don't think it was that Shrewsbury were entirely undone by it. I think it was just a bit of a fortunate bounce of the ball.
Agreed. We're into the 45th minute here. Quite a few people have decided that it's time to go and get a half-time bovril. It's a nippy day here, the Greens, especially when the wind swirls around this stadium. You really feel it. And Sheffield Wednesday had a goal kick, which they look to take short, and they do. And Turner right on the edge of the penalty area. Shrewsbury happy to let them have it there for the time being. It's out with the right back for Wednesday. Inside it goes to Semedo. And now Gogan. Wednesday trying to come forward, but they've been dispossessed, and it's Jordan Clark who does it. Takes it past one man, almost slips it through to Jean-Louis Apparat Pro, and Wednesday have it back and work it neatly out to this near left-hand side. Clark again looking busy. I'm sure the manager will be saying to him, go and keep trying those things, you know. It's one thing to try a clever pass in your own half, but Clark has been trying it when he's been in the opponent's half, and Shrewsbury so often lacking that kind of creativity. Wednesday come forward now, down their right-hand side, 10 yards or so into the Shrewsbury half. And it's switched very well out to Bennett on this left-hand side, forward from fullback, chance to cross in, cuts inside though, might fancy a shot, plays it to the edge of the area, goes for the return, does, into the area he goes, and Smith's there for Shrewsbury to knock it away, only as far as the right-hand side, dangerous looking cross into the centre, free header and over the target. It was from Jo. I mean, he was challenged well by Zach Whitbread, but got there first. Unfortunately for Shrewsbury over the bar. And Wednesday, Shrewsbury put in a spirited performance, we've said that, but the good chances have come for the away side, haven't they?
They definitely have, and the quality's there for the away side, isn't it? I mean, that's a lovely run from Bennett, gone past however many men and made some really great space up with that run. He's ever so unfortunate actually not to finish with the goals. His 1-2 was excellent, touches were brilliant, Shrewsbury have done well to prevent that, and then finished off with the missed header. So I think Shrewsbury will be satisfied at 1-0.
Clark playing it forward to Mangan, tries the early cross, deflected away though. There's two Wednesday players there, and outnumber Mangan and clear the ball away neatly, and it's brought forward by Semedo now, the number 6, and a chance for Wednesday to break. It's with the number 10 coming forward, dangerous through ball out to the right hand side, two men in the centre here, dangerous cross in, and Whitbread slides in and turns it behind for a corner, breaking with pace there, the away side. It was Lewis McGugan again, the centre of everything ticking for the away side. Good break forward through the centre circle, too quick for Ian Black, and a well-paced ball out to the right-hand side, and Zach Whitbread read the danger well at the near post, turned it behind for a corner kick. You do feel Wednesday have got that opportunity when they want to turn it on, just go through the gears and take Shrewsbury apart, and these are important moments for the home side, like trailing the goal to 0 here right on half time. Everyone back by Andy Mangan. Here comes the corner in towards the near post, it's flicked on, attempted shot at the far post is completely mishit, and that's the last touch of the first half, and Shrewsbury will go in at the break a goal down. The opportunity there came for Sasso at the far post, and a bit of a rush of blood to the head, just swung his foot at it and missed kick. But Shrewsbury with everything to do here, they've worked hard, they've battled. You sometimes wonder why they don't work that hard perhaps in a league environment, but they do trail thanks to Lewis McGugan's goal. He has been the star player on the pitch so far this afternoon. His free kick swung into the far post. Was it a shot, was it a cross, who knows, but it was delivered with such quality it beat everyone, including Jason Lloyd-Waller. At the other end, Town have had limited opportunities, really coming through. Jordan Clark, who's looked the most lively, a dangerous cross into the centre, which Lionel Cole and then Andy Mangan nearly got in the end of. But Town with plenty of work to do here. They are still in the tie at the moment. They need to step it up a gear in the second half. Here at half time, it's Shrewsbury Town 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
So you might just have heard a blow as we opened on to air, so we are underway with the score. Shrewsbury 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. I think everyone took their time at half time to go under the stands and just avoid the wind and not exactly get warm, but not get as cold. Bitterly cold day today at the Greenhouse Meadow. Shrewsbury taking the goal to our our left-hand side in the second half, and there's an early tester from Akpro from absolutely nothing. Shot from his right foot, bounced up kindly on the volley, and 35-40 yards out. Trying to optimistic effort, which does go wide of the left-hand post of Lewis Price.
Why not? Why not? We don't do that enough, do we? We mentioned it a lot at Burton on last Saturday, the home side having lots of shots from distance. I mean, these guys are more than capable of hitting the target from 25 yards. So why not have a go?
I've had the match attendance 5,699 with the travelling support of 1,502. Shrewsbury on the ball with Jordan Clark on this left-hand side. He'll try and play it through to Junior Brown. Still going. He's got it to Junior Brown. Bit of space for him now to get a cross in. Header away. Back out to the left for Clark. Second chance for him to cross in. And it's cleared away once more. And Liam Palmer can complete the clearance. And as far as Mike Percival. Now Brown. Clark. Ball over the top. Akpro will get there. He's tackled forcefully by Sasso. Shrewsbury throw in on this left-hand side.
Great play from Clark again, wasn't it? Lovely little bit of skill. Really good ball. Drew two defenders towards him. That created the space for the ball to Junior Brown. And Brown just hasn't found his crossing accuracy so far. He can look like a world-class crosser at times, and other games he can not beat the first man, and you need him to find a little bit of quality from somewhere. It's good play from Clark though.
Ball with Junior Brown. Now to Clark once more. Chance for him to cross. He's found Cole on the edge of the area. And Cole's tried something. He's trying to sort of back it on the edge of the area, and it's not come off. And Sheffield Wednesday have got the ability to clear instead. Disappointing from Lionel Cole. Sheffield Wednesday on the counter attack. They've managed to get the ball to the byline. Crossed in into the edge of the area for Jo, I think. He can't control. Shrewsbury can nip the ball away from him though, at the expense of a throw-in over on the far side. It's a positive opening start to the game with Shrewsbury having a couple of chances at Akpro, and then, as you say, Jordan Clark looking busy. He's looking Shrewsbury's most likely option at the minute to create anything.
He is.
To see a bit more of him on the ball. No major changes in personnel or tactics otherwise that you can note in the opening 2-3 minutes of this game. The second half rather. Sheffield Wednesday with the ball in the middle. Out to the right hand side it goes for Liam Palmer. He can cross into the penalty area. Knight Purcell with a header away. Junior Brown will head it inside to Clark, who just gets there before his man to stab it back away to Brown. Knight Percival can complete the clearance but doesn't get the height required, and so Sheffield Wednesday come back at Shrewsbury. That clearance didn't reach the front two of Andy Mangan and at Backpro, though this one does. And Mangan's found Backpro, and now he's running at the Sheffield Wednesday defence. Gets the ball to Cole on the right hand side, overlapping the scrimmer, but Cole goes himself, strikes down the middle of the goal. Comfortable save for Lewis Price to make, but first shot on target perhaps for Town in this game. Important to get that on the board.
Yeah, it was, and a good break from Shrewsbury. You want to see that. I wonder if the managers just say have a few shots and try and just test the goalkeeper. You never know when one might fly in, and then it's a totally different game. Totally different game. The fans start getting behind you more. I mean, ultimately, it's a decent start to the second half from Shrewsbury. They're finding a little bit of space.
Lionel Cole to Jordan Clark. Mangan, Clark. Now we're at Backpro to Cole. Cole with the ball over the top for Andy Mangan. He's got his trying to get something with his left foot, and he was waiting for the ball to drop down to him from something of a height, and Sheffield Wednesday, as a result, able to clear. Town have started this second half with a bit of impetus. Bit of something about them. Shrewsbury supporters open up their lungs. That's a hurried clearance from Smith, and he can't find a Shrewsbury player with it. Instead it is with McGugan. And Palmer crossing over the halfway line. McGugan has it again, and he just stands on the ball waiting for options to become available to him further forward. Spreads play out to the left hand side. Turner out to the left for Bennett. He's been an important player so far for Sheffield Wednesday. He's gone down under the challenge from Jack Grimmer, looking for a free kick which the referee hasn't awarded. And as he stays on the floor, Jack Grimmer tries to nip the ball away from him and then wins a throw in.
Yeah, good play from Grimmer. Just going back to the way Shrewsbury have started, whenever they've gone forward, it's been Cole and Clark both getting forward, haven't they? They've been involved in the action and those breaks, and yeah, that's what you've got to do when you've got Ian Black sitting just in front of the back four. You've got to get your players forward from the midfield. That's the point of having extra men in the midfield, so you can take chances going forward.
Yeah, quite right. 50 minutes on the watch then, still 1-0. Shrewsbury try a big ball over the top to Andy Mangan. He's got there first, and he's running towards goal. Tries to cross it in towards Clark, and it's cleared away. Comes out to Jack Grimmer. Might fancy the strike here. Jack Grimmer, he does so. I think that's on target as well. It's another comfortable save for Lewis Price. Head height and able to make a simple claim. Shrewsbury had a free kick, I think, round about the halfway line. Played the ball over the top. Andy Mangan again on the last man. Got there first. Two players just behind him. Tried playing it in square for Jordan Clark. A Sheffield Wednesday boot prevented that from happening. But the clearance went only to Jack Grimmer. Grimmer's optimistic, perhaps effort. But again, I think perhaps something that Shrewsbury might have been told by Mickey Mellon, which is, we want to see more shots on target. We've had two now in this game, in this first half, in fact, and one other which wasn't on target from at Backpro.
Just nice to see Shrewsbury getting players forward and playing with a bit of tempo, isn't it? That's so often been the issue in Shrewsbury matches this season. Certainly the case Tuesday night. Don't need to do that. It allows the fans just to get behind them a bit more.
Ian Palmer, nice footwork from him on the edge of the area for Sheffield Wednesday. McGugan and spread play out to the left hand side. It's now with Semedo. Semedo to Bennett, booed by the Shrewsbury crowd because they feel as though he went down easily under the challenge a moment ago. They have it still though. Cole trying to nip it away from Matthias. The away side have kept hold of possession well. And finds Palmer on the ball. Palmer slip ball through, looking for the run of Jao. Too much on the pass, and it runs through for a goal kick for Town.
A nice play from Sheffield Wednesday, but you do feel as though they're being made to work for it now a little bit more. And Lionel Cole getting stuck in there as well. We don't say that too often about him. So a good opening 8 minutes here for Shrewsbury.
He's Mike Percival on the ball for Town. There's a big ball up towards Andy Mangan, but up against Michael Turner. It was only ever one winner, and that is the number 3 for Sheffield Wednesday. Floodlights are on. Still bright sky. Getting a little bit darker, but light enough. With Sheffield Wednesday on the run down the left hand side. Jack Grimmer having to come back to defend. Cross comes into the Shrewsbury penalty area. Header away behind Knight Percival, but doesn't get much distance on it. Wednesday beginning to exert a bit of pressure here against Shrewsbury. Here's a slip ball forward with Palmer on the right hand side. Clark trying to prevent his progress, plays it back to McGurgan. His cross in is blocked, and Sheffield Wednesday have a corner kick.
Everything from Wednesday goes through McGugan, doesn't it? It really does. He's been very impressive. Right foot, left foot. He can play short, he can play long, he can get the ball in the box. And he really is the man that has made Wednesday tick.
Wednesday corner kick then from the right hand side. In swinging delivery into the near post, and I think that might have even been going in, you know. It's punched away by Leutwiler, out for another corner kick. I think that was on its way towards goal.
Yeah, agreed. It was good intervention from the Shrewsbury stopper.
Will be another corner then, again to be taken by Joe Bennett. You said he's making his debut today?
Yeah.
In swinging into the near post, and it's a glancing header, and it's crossed back in towards the Shrewsbury goal. Town can clear. Two good deliveries from Bennett, causing some pandemonium in the Shrewsbury box. This time floated in, and Sheffield Wednesday man at the back post, ever so close to getting a glancing header onto it. Town in the end can clear.
It was two excellent deliveries, you're right. Wednesday perhaps playing with the wind at their backs in this second half, and if you can curl the ball in and use that wind, it really causes defensive difficulties, and Town did well to survive.
Town defending still. Jack Grimmer clears his ranks, and that back row does very well to hold off his man, controls the ball on his chest, holds off his man, and plays it back to Ian Black. Black's played it out towards Andy Mangan, who's given chase, and he's got past his man as he's still in the penalty area. Crosses in, it's towards that back row. Goal! 1-1! Andy Mangan with a great cross in by Akpro, who makes no mistake with the header. And it's Shrewsbury 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
Oh, fantastic break, wasn't it? Mangan just put the afterburners on, got past his man, cut back, a lovely delivery. And Akpro just stayed calm, didn't he? Everyone else was about to lose their heads. He didn't, just put it back across the other side of the goalkeeper into the far corner. Lovely, lovely goal from Shrewsbury. And, well, Andy, they deserve something for the way they've started the second half, don't they? And we just hope that is the goal that's going to kick-start this Shrewsbury side. Wonderful stuff.
Andy Mangan, I didn't know he had that much pace.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, was it up against Michael Turner? I think it might have been. And you'd have thought if you're Sheffield Wednesday, he nearly did it a moment or two ago, didn't he? Where he, again, put the afterburners on, got there first, at this time able to angle in a really good cross towards that back row, just held up in the air. And Shrewsbury get themselves level up against the championship team in the playoffs in the championship at the moment, Sheffield Wednesday.
Textbook header from Akpro, wasn't it? Back the opposite way.
We've not seen too much of him this season, have we, at Akpro? He's come off the bench, hasn't started very many games at all. But he's got his chance, he's taking it. He's on the ball again here. Has the ball thrown into him by Brown. Tries nipping this one through for Clark. It's blocked. Sheffield Wednesday will look to come away. From a Wednesday point of view, you say we've had a number of chances and we've not taken them. But
that's the FA Cup though, isn't it, Andy? You know, you rarely in these kind of games have a position where the lower league side, oh, that's not a foul, referee. That is not a foul. You rarely in these situations have a scenario where the lower league side create all the chances and are really on top. You need a little bit of fortune.
There's a free kick awarded, as AT said, under somewhat controversial circumstances. Jo going to ground rather easily, and Grimmer's put the ball out for a throw in for Sheffield Wednesday over on the far side. 58 minutes gone. Wednesday with the ball, chance for them to switch play out to the right hand side for Palmer. Touch a little bit heavy, but brings it onto his left foot, plays a nice 1-2 with Hooper, back out to Palmer on the right. He crosses in, but it's a poor delivery, and Junior Brown should be able to clear, and he does so intelligently by playing the ball to Backbro on the left. Backbro looks for a crossfield switch. I wonder, on a couple of occasions, I mentioned it right at the start, that there's some similarities in the kit, and I wonder whether, the pace of the action, when you look up and you see someone, the kits aren't too drastically different
Yeah, I know what you mean. If you just put them next to each other in front of your face, you'd go, they're wildly different. But
yeah,
it's the fact that Wednesday's kit, you're right, does have the...
There's been a couple of times when Shrewsbury players have kicked it to their opponents inexplicably.
Yeah.
I think it's one of them when you've got a millisecond to make a decision. Brain hasn't reacted. Here's Geo clearly being pulled by Ian Black. Free kick for Sheffield Wednesday.
You don't mind those kind of fouls being given away by Black. He's never going to be yellow carded for doing something like that, just pulling a man's shirt in a non-dangerous area of the field. But it just lets them know where you are, that you're really in this game, that you're not going to give them an easy ride.
Ball is through here to Jason Leutwiler for Shrewsbury as James Wallace goes to warm up down below us.
I'd have thought he's the most likely of the Shrewsbury substitutes to come on at some point.
Yeah, quite possibly. I don't know if Richie Wellens is injured after Tuesday.
I don't know. Is he cup tied?
Could well be that as well, of course. Yeah, could well be that. He's Knight Percival. Channel ball down the flank up towards Backbro, but it's cleared by Palmer. Backbro to Mangan, middle of the park, finds Cole, back to Mangan. Won't quite be enough on it for him to get there before Samido. He's going toe to toe with the town attacker, and Wednesday can counter attack through Samido. Crosses the halfway line up towards the edge of the 18-yard area. Whitbread tries to bring him down. Samido still going, pulls out a shot, and it's a one-handed save by Jason Leutwiler low down to his left-hand side. That'll be a corner kick for Sheffield Wednesday, and that was a bit of a seas opening for Samido.
Yeah, again, Zach Whitbread came out, didn't he, and tried to stop him, and it was a nice bit of skill to take it past Whitbread. You don't mind that so much, as long as a Shrewsbury man comes out and does his best to try and stop something. But Wednesday do have undoubted quality on the break. It was a shame because there was a chance at the other end for Shrewsbury, and Cole just didn't quite get enough on the pass back to Andy Mangan.
Change here for Sheffield Wednesday. Number 14, Gary Hooper, is off, and number 9, Atidi Nui is on. I'm going to call him Nui, and of all the substitutes, he was the one I was hoping wasn't coming on because his name seems a nightmare to pronounce. Delivery from the corner for Sheffield Wednesday, header away at the near post by Brown. Shot comes in by, I think it's Palmer, is it, over the crossbar. Either way, Town goal kick. Just an aside on Gary Hooper, a player who has quite a fierce reputation at lower leagues and then at Celtic. Barely mentioned him, have we?
No, that's right, which is ominous in itself, isn't it? But I'm glad to see he's gone off the pitch. That said, the guy that's come on, number 9, is huge, isn't he?
Yeah.
Absolute beast of a player. It makes kind of Zach Whitbread look small. And that really is a compliment to Shrewsbury, I think, as to how they've started this second half.
Yeah. Goal kick by Jason Leutwiler, which Backbro competes with against Lewis McGugan. Referee's whistle blows against Backbro for unfairly challenging his man. So Wednesday have it with McGugan on his right hand side. Played in square to Samido. Now back to McGugan, left footed, big crossfield switch from him. Right, just in front of the halfway line with Bennett. Yeah, it was a great ball, and now Bennett's slipped it through. Grimmer's got a good block in, and intelligently has found Knight Percival. Should be playing it around their defensive unit rather worryingly. A few too many dummies on the edge of the 18-yard area for my liking. It's a ball over the top, and that Backbro is onside, and he could be 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper here. Man covering, can he get a shot away? He does, and it's saved by the goalkeeper and should be cleared. Yes, it is. It's cleared out for the left-hand side for a Town throw in. There's another ball over the top. Backbro ran the line really well. Linesman's flag stayed down. He's coming in from a slightly right-hand side angle, and the man was closing him down pretty quickly from the centre. Meant that he didn't have all the time he might have liked to have composed himself. Had the shot in, and decent save in the end, I suppose.
It's a great cup tie now, isn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause it's proper end-to-end stuff, it really is. Akra did ever so well, timed his run to perfection, hit the ball across the goalkeeper, good save, and tantalising, wasn't it, that it ended up a couple of yards from goal.
Shot comes in here against Leutwiler, and it's palmed away by him, straight out into the middle. Knight Percival there to clear and block against Geo for a Shrewsbury goal kick. And that was out of nothing, wasn't it?
McGugan again, wasn't it? Just, he's got such a range of passing, and you give him time and space to get in shots like that. It looks like he's injured himself in the process, which will be a huge blessing in disguise for Shrewsbury. But for a player like him that can strike the ball like he does, it's almost like he's just passing, but rather than finding a player, he's trying to pass it into the goal. He opens himself up with his laces, strikes it, and it was a good stop from the Shrewsbury goalkeeper.
He's being treated for cramp by the looks of it, isn't he, McGugan? I mean, he really put his laces behind that to have the effort on Leutwiler's goal. Wouldn't have been expecting it. He was able to get the block away. 1-1 then in this game. 64 minutes showing on the scoreboard away to our right hand side. Play still suspended for the treatment for Lewis McGugan. Town yet to make any changes of their own. Mark Halstead, Matt Sadler, Sean Wally, Scott Vernon, Abu Gogo. I think the first time we've seen him in the squad for some time, isn't it? Ethan Jones and James Wallace on the bench. I'd be surprised to see Abu Gogo perhaps at one stage. I suppose it depends on his level of fitness, doesn't it? But a player who feasibly come in and just shore things up. Depends the tack Shrewsbury take, doesn't it? You know, that goal goes in from that back row there. Town holding on to a lead.
It'd be interesting to see how long McGugan lasts for now, because anyone who's had cramp knows that once it kicks in, you can stave it off for a few more minutes, but it's very, very hard to actually turn the process round. And there's a long way left in this game yet, 25 minutes plus injury time. If it is cramp, and it looks like cramp, then it's going to be difficult for him to last the pace, perhaps. Well, hopefully that's the case, because he's been very, very impressive for the away side.
Yeah, he's been walked off by one of two Sheffield Wednesday physios. It's a bit extravagant, isn't it?
Yeah.
And walked off by the two of them. Walking fine. To presumably just wait for the referee signal that he can come back onto the pitch. Play restarts with a Town goal kick, which Jason Leutwiler hits with his right foot up towards the halfway line. Patbro prevented from getting. Surely referee, he's being prevented from getting to the ball there. He's being held off by a man nowhere near the ball. Referee was in a good position to see that, but opted to do nothing with it. Wednesday on the ball. Bennett. A little space on the right hand side for Palmer if Matthias can find him. He does. Channel ball up to the right hand side. Sugu tries to receive the ball but slips seemingly. She's got a goal kick.
And they do. Mike Jackson and Mickey Mellon down there. Mellon just applauding. Nathaniel Knight Percival there, putting the goal kick for his side. I wonder what's going through their heads at the moment. You know, do I stick or do I twist? How much do I push for a second goal here?
Right, another goal kick for Shrewsbury then. 67 minutes on the watch, and the supporters making the most noise, and consistently so for the second half. Have been Shrewsbury, haven't they? I don't think I've heard a chant from the Sheffield Wednesday supporters away to our right.
Yeah, I just saw a few moments ago when they attacked and the pass was played a little bit too hard, and you saw just a little bit of dissent from the away fans, a few arms, you know, being flailed away in remonstration at a poor pass. And the fact that they're quiet and they're getting that reaction, you do feel that they know they're not in trouble, I would say, but they know they've got a battle on their hands.
Yeah, there's a free kick here for Sheffield Wednesday against Knight Percival. He's caused his own difficulties. He's got a yellow card for it as well. He had the ball played in towards him, delayed on playing it forward, and then had the ball robbed off him by Geo, and then in his eagerness to win the ball back, he's conceded the free kick. Sheffield Wednesday to take, which Palmer will hit in from the halfway line up to the edge of the 18-yard area of Shrewsbury's. The big man Newey is underneath it, can get the header on, but straight through to Jason Leutwiler. 68 minutes gone, and we'll see you through to full time.
Yeah, and a very finely poised game here at the Greenhouse Meadow. Here's Jordan Clark now, flicks it forward to Mangan. Mangan takes it out wide onto the left-hand side. He's got space to turn here though. 3 making their way into the area. Mangan will go alone to the byline. Dangerous cross in, hits the chest of a Sheffield Wednesday defender who does very well actually in the end to get away with that. And forward it goes. Whitbread there first for Shrewsbury. Finds Black. Black now to Jordan Clark once more. Midway inside the opposition territory. Flicked over for Louis Akpro again. He tries a first time cross. Cannons off Turner and is behind for a Shrewsbury corner kick. Time very much with their tails up here at the Greenhouse Meadow. Again, Clark and Akpro linking well, and it will be a set piece for the home side.
Frustrating, isn't it, when Shrewsbury can play like this and then you see other games when they don't. You know, I mean, causing Sheffield Wednesday a lot of problems in this second half time.
Yeah. You don't need to play like this for 90 minutes in games either. You need these 15-20 minute spells, get on top, create some chances. Here's Black with a corner in towards the near post. Poor one from Ian Black. Didn't get enough height on it. It's headed away and will come back to the number 6 though, and a chance to cross in. And another poor one. Doesn't beat the first man. And Mike Purcell flicks it back goalwards, and Akpro nearly gets on it. It's a rush clearance high up into the air, not cleared yet. Who will it drop for? It's a Wednesday man there, Semedo, who can clear it away and gets the ball back, and he'll launch a counter attack now. Opens up his legs over the halfway line to a man on the left hand side. 2 in the area now. Goes towards the number 9. Knight Percival reads the ball well, and it's knocked out of play for a throw.
Ian Black will be pleased with that, because 2 dreadful deliveries from him.
Yeah.
Even in the second time of asking, after the initial corner had come in, it come back to him from an angle which really favoured a good whipping in of a cross. He's barely beating the first man. That prompted the counter attack for Sheffield Wednesday. They're making another change with Modu Sugu coming off and Ross Wallace coming on.
Number 33 Wallace, another pair of bright yellow boots onto the pitch. And Sheffield Wednesday taking their time with this throw, and down the line it goes. Tom Smith trying to prevent the Wednesday man getting there, and does. He's won a goal kick for his side. Linesman on this near side. Seeing the ball go out a long way from where he stood, and it helps when you've got the Shrewsbury fans shouting for it. I'm sure just puts a little note into your head perhaps. So a goal kick for Shrewsbury, and we're very finely poised here at the Greenhouse Meadow. Shrewsbury Town 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Wednesday ahead through a first half free kick from Lewis McGugan, but Town equalising with a really well worked goal. Andy Mangan crossing for the head of Jean-Louis Akpro. And that's where we stand. It's headed into Shrewsbury territory. Smith with a header away, but Wednesday back on the ball. Smith again with a header in, but it's the away side on the ball. Grimmer will try and win the ball back, and does. Only temporarily though. And it's Bennett now offloads down the left hand side. Chance for a cross in, dangerous cross in. Brown's there for Shrewsbury, heads away. Tyne can't get the ball completely clear at the moment though. McGugan looks to be okay after that bout of cramp a couple of minutes ago, and he's back on the ball again now. Will swing it into Tyne territory to the number 9. Knocks it down. Can he get a shot away? Can't. It's deflected up into the air. Dangerous this for Shrewsbury. It's headed away only as far as one of the substitutes, Wallace, towards the corner of the penalty area. Jinks one way, Jinks another onto his right foot, curls it in towards the far post. Grimmer's there though and can clear away forward towards Andy Mangan. Mangan very cleverly wins a free kick and just takes the pressure off his side. Good play from the Shrewsbury number 19.
Yeah, it is. It's just cute play, isn't it?
But Tyne take the free kick quickly, and it's looking for Jean-Louis Akpro in the corner, and they found him. Chance to take on his man now. He's got Junior Brown for support. Brown now into the area. Can he get a cross in? Goes to the byline. Checks back onto his right foot. Decent cross in. Turner heads away to the edge of the area. Black will bring it down. Tries a first time shot, and it's a couple of yards wide of the far post. And again, Tyne with their tails up, looking to take free kicks quickly. They're not just sitting in and going, all right, we've got our equalising goal, let's keep it tight. Yeah. When they get the chance to break forward, they're doing that.
Yeah, and really using Andy Mangan and Akpro's pace. They're on the edge of the last defender, looking for any balls over the top early, looking to take things quickly, and that's where a lot of Shrewsbury's success in the second half has come from. It's from early balls through to them. That one there was just into the channel. It wasn't direct, into the middle of the park. But Akpro, at least then you've got the ball. You in the final third, and good run from Junior Brown to feed the ball in towards him. Shrewsbury could have made something of that.
Yeah, they've got a free kick here, a little fortuitously for a foul on Ian Black. Take the rough with a smooth, and Shrewsbury back on possession, and again they'll take it quickly into the channel for Mangan to chase after up against Turner on this occasion. Mangan's got there first, claims a handball. Oh, not given, I thought. And Andy Mangan perhaps saying that the linesman is 2 yards away from that and gave nothing. And the referee 20 yards away judges it to have been a handball, and it'll allow the Wednesday keeper Price to clear forward. A really odd looking outfit, purple top and shorts with green sleeves and then bright pink gloves and bright pink boots. I've seen that 20-30 years ago in a goalkeeper. Wednesday have the ball with McGugan, and now it's spread out onto this near side for the number 2 Palmer getting forward well. McGugan again midway inside Shrewsbury territory. What can he do? Time standing off, allow him to spread it out wide to Wallace. Wallace will take on Jordan Clark onto his left foot. Decent ball into the centre, really dangerous, and just misses the number 10, and into the arms of Jason Leutwiler it goes. It was a really tantalising ball put in by Ross Wallace, and Shrewsbury fortunate to see it land into the arms of their goalkeeper.
Well, entirely different, but somehow similar to the goal, wasn't it? Which is, if you play the ball into the centre, as a goalkeeper, you're anticipating, you're having to sort of stay on your feet for any deflections, any headers that might be made of that. But also, actually, this shot can be just as effective.
Akrakro looking for Mangan, and it's just overplayed, close to
linking well
together really nicely, aren't they? Yeah, and I mean Mangan is move. In fact, both of their movement today, but Mangan's movement has been excellent. I've felt sorry for him whenever he's played in the losing Shrewsbury side, because he's the one player on all those occasions that comes out with a bit of credit. And they linked up very nicely again there, as they did for the goal. Here's McGugan. Wednesday getting ready to make their final substitution of the afternoon. 15 minutes to go here, and it's the away side coming forward. Wallace again, he's had a good impact since coming on, up against Brown. Inside it goes to McGugan once more, 25 yards from goal, making space for a shot perhaps. Instead goes short to Wallace on the right hand side, taking on Jordan Clark again. Jinks onto his left foot, then onto his right, trying to get a cross in. It's half blocked, and Jordan Clark should be able to complete a clearance here. He's got the ball inside his own area, slips over, and it falls to McGugan. He's going to fancy a shot here, drives it, it's going to be a goal, and it is. It takes a slight deflection off a Shrewsbury man who has stood right behind it. Crisp strike from the number 10. Just took the slightest of deflections. It beat Jason Leutwiler. A wonderful strike, and it's Shrewsbury Town 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. You
feel really sorry for Jordan Clark there, don't you? He's got the opportunity to clear it with his left foot, clear it away and out, or he's ended up bringing it onto his right foot, and when it's on his right foot, he slipped as he's hit it, and that's meant that he's gone straight to McGugan. He's got no distance, he's got no height. McGugan's just picked it up and smacked it towards goal, and makes it 2-1, and Jordan Clark is the man at fault. But
yeah, real shame, I agree. He's had a cracking game, and it looked as though he'd made space really nicely for a clearance, didn't it? And as you say, didn't get there, but time by no means dead and buried here. 13 minutes to go. We are getting ready to bring on James Wallace, but I think we'll restart play first and foremost. So McGugan has got both goals now for Wednesday, and they've regained the lead. And what are we waiting for here? Is there a
change for both teams by the looks of things? You've got Lee for Sheffield Wednesday, Kieran Lee coming on. That's going to be the first substitution by the looks of it. Number 7, Marco Matthias is off, and Kieran Lee is on. And Shrewsbury also going to be making a double change actually. It's going to be James Wallace and Sean Wally coming on. Waiting for the numbers of who's coming off for Shrewsbury. Still waiting for Marco Matthias to make his way off the field for Sheffield Wednesday, whose supporters all of a sudden have woken up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a really crisp strike from McGugan.
Took a slight deflection, I thought, didn't it? Just ever so slightly. Didn't divert it away from its course all too much. It's still in the same general area that Jason Leutwiler was going down towards. Changes for Shrewsbury. James Wallace on, and Dominic Smith is off.
Played well, Smith. Gets a good high five from his manager. He's had a good game.
The other change is Sean Whalley on and Ian Black off.
Interesting. So
4-4-2. Well, is it? It's 4 at the back, isn't it?
yeah, so it looks like Whalley to go up front with Andy Mangan, Akparakpro on this left-hand side, and Lionel Cole on the right-hand side. Jordan Clark goes into the centre with James Wallace. Very attacking. Very attacking,
it is, isn't it?
Change. No complaints there. Shrewsbury are going to throw caution to the wind here to try and find their way back into this game. However, it's the visitors with the ball going down the left-hand side. It's Bennett on loan full back, forward it goes. Whitbread reads it well and finds Lionel Cole. And Cole looking for a pass out here, finds Jordan Clark under pressure. Nice flip ball, is it from Zach Whitbread? No, just too much on it, looking for Junior Brown. And Tyne have just over 10 minutes to rescue this cup tie. Palmer with a throw-in for Wednesday, and as Andy said, their fans have now found their voice. And Shrewsbury find a second equaliser here. It's Wallace of Wednesday on the ball. Big switch of play, bit of a risky one. And it's headed away by a Wednesday man, but only as far as Whitbread. Out wide now to Jack Grimmer. Grimmer down the line to Whalley, chested down to James Wallace. First touch for him since coming on. Tries to slide it through, can't quite get there. He's in a battle to get there to the second ball and does, but the ball cannons off him for a Wednesday throw. And Shrewsbury, well, just hope for one more chance to fall the way of a Shrewsbury man. It's been a far improved second half from Shrewsbury. I mean, when I came to the game, a lot of people on the radio were saying, we just want to see a performance from Shrewsbury today, something that gives you a bit of optimism going into the Southend game and beyond. And they, regardless of the result, you can say that now, can't you?
Yes, you can, absolutely. And you just hope that it is built on, isn't it? Because last Saturday we were really buoyed, weren't we, leaving the Pirelli Stadium, one of the best games of the season from a Shrewsbury point of view in many respects, and then followed by something so disappointing on Tuesday. So this is much better from Tyne, irrespective of the result in many ways. Just hope that we pick up really valuable league points.
Tyne have worked themselves nicely into position here, and Mangan again outpacing Turner into the area. Turner puts a arm out, he's lucky to get away there. The play still goes on, is that a penalty? No, says the referee. Big claims for a penalty on Sean Whalley there. It all came about. Tyne played their way out of danger really well. Ball forward to Mangan again, put the afterburners on, took it past Turner. Turner stuck out an arm. I think he's very lucky not to have fouled Andy Mangan there in the eyes of the referee. The ball stayed in play. Sean Whalley reacted quickest, got there, it appeared before his man, and then was clattered, absolutely clattered, and the referee in a very good position said no penalty.
Yeah, I don't think there was a penalty or a free kick with Andy Mangan Turner. I think the big shout was Whalley, wasn't it? I think he got before his man, and I think probably he's just been nipped, and I think that should probably have been a penalty.
It was.
But we'll see it again. I mean, I think what the referee's probably looking at. I think Whalley knew that was his best option, getting there first, making the most of contact, and looking for the penalty. And so as a result, the referee's mind's probably already been made up before he's even gone in for the challenge. But there we go.
It was good play from Shrewsbury. They worked their way forwards really nicely. They did, but Wednesday have the ball now with one of their substitutes, the tall number 9, and he gets the ball back now. It's a shooting opportunity, but that one's high over the bar. And Jason Lloyd-Waller's goal. And the Sheffield Wednesday fans very sportingly kick the ball straight into Lloyd-Waller's arms so that he can get on with play quickly. 8 minutes to go here. It's been a cracking cup tie, certainly in the second half. And Shrewsbury, if they do end up losing this game, might just feel slightly aggrieved there. Big penalty shout going unawarded. Akparakpro flicks on. He's got the Shrewsbury goal. It's flicked into Shrewsbury territory. It's a free kick for a foul on Zach Whitbread. Tyne take the free kick quickly to the captain, Knight Percival. Will try a big rake-in switch of play here towards Akparakpro. Brings it down on his chest and brings into play Jack Grimmer midway inside of Sheffield Wednesday territory. Tries the early ball towards Mangan, headed clear, and only as far as James Wallace. He and Sean Whalley switch passes, and then Wallace looks for Junior Brown, but it's a bit of a lazy pass, under hit, and it's cleared comfortably for the away side. He work it to Wallace on this near side. and now hit forward, and that's a poor touch back into the possession of Shrewsbury. Wallace is caught late. The referee, he should play a good advantage there. I could see why he didn't, because it wasn't a very good challenge from the number 9 Nuhio, and he perhaps thought that Sean Wally wasn't going to get, or the Shrewsbury man wasn't going to get there first, and therefore blew up. It was a bad challenge though, and Shrewsbury have a free kick right on the halfway line.
Yeah, I think he's probably recognised he should have allowed the advantage in the end, but still a yellow card.
Wallace looking for Mangan, finds some space in the area, tight angle here, and it's put behind for a corner. Tyne still finding space. Those balls over the top there.
Every time, aren't they?
Yeah.
If you're Wednesday, why are you just picking up Mangan?
Yeah, Mangan and Akra, they're just moving. They're just moving around, and they're making it hard. Jordan Clark will have this corner for Shrewsbury. Can he beat the first man? He can. It's in towards the centre, headed away by the number 9. Decent header away. Clark might get to the second ball first. He does, and he's unfortunate. He won the header, but it hit a Wednesday man, and that allowed the Wednesday player to clear the ball. It's with Whitbread now. Whitbread will bang it back into the Wednesday box. Mangan will chase after it. He's offside on this occasion. Clark picked up the second ball, but Shrewsbury still getting forward and creating problems for this Wednesday defence. They've got just over 5 minutes left, plus added on time, to try and rescue this FA Cup 4th round cup tie. It's now the Wednesday goalkeeper's turn to waste a bit of time. Just take as much time as he can before clearing forward. Big clearance into the Shropshire Evening Sky, and it's flipped on towards the edge of the Shrewsbury penalty area. Whitbread there for Shrewsbury, and he'll try and clear his lines. It cannons against Wallace, back to Whitbread, and under a lot of pressure clears halfway, and then Brown gets a foot on it as well. It'll go out of play for a Wednesday throw. Whitbread's had a decent game, hasn't he? And Wednesday have this throw in, which Palmer will take. And the referee just perhaps urging Wednesday to get on with it a little bit quicker. And eventually it goes in and is cleared by Brown towards halfway. Akra can't win it, but it's a poor header by Turner. It will fall at the feet of Sean Wally. He's got men around him. Can he pick someone out? It's Akra into the penalty area. He goes down. It's a penalty.
That's a
penalty. It is a penalty for Shrewsbury. Akra onto his left foot, cut the ball back, totally mesmerised the Sheffield Wednesday defender, who went one way, went the wrong way, tripped him up. And it's a penalty, and Jean-Louis Akra will take this penalty for Shrewsbury. He has scored from the penalty spot before for Shrewsbury, of course. The last time Tyne had a spot kick here at the Greenhouse Meadow, it was Andy Mangan in the home game against Barnsley. Tyne were behind then, they're behind here. These are big moments in this game. 4 minutes to go, and Tyne have a great chance to equalise here against Sheffield Wednesday.
I wonder whether Akra knew that it was going to be him who's taking this. Come on, Tyne.
Come on, Jean-Louis, you deserve this. All eyes on the referee. Blows his whistle. Here comes Akra at the Salop Leisure Stand end. Right-footed, shoots it, saved. It'll come out to Wally. Goal!
Yes!
Wally does it again for Shrewsbury in the late stages of the game. The first effort from Jean-Louis Akra was pushed away by the goalkeeper diving to his left, but Wally was quickest to respond, and a cool finish low into the far corner, and it's Shrewsbury Town 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Get the ball back, Tyne. Come on, we can win this. That's what I'd be saying. You know, Tyne have done so well. You just think 3 minutes to go, Andy. Let's go for it. They won't have a better opportunity now, surely to try and get a famous win.
Well, I tell you what.
He's so calm, Sean Wally, isn't he, when a chance falls to him?
Yeah.
Again there, you know, he passed it into the back of the net. There was no danger of him thrashing it goalwards.
Well, it was not the best of penalties from Akra. They never are when they're saved, are they?
No.
But you know, goalkeeper's height, dived to his left, palmed it out, and then Sean Wally, I mean, if you're watching the replays, you'd perhaps look at where Sean Wally was when the ball was struck, because he was a couple of yards ahead of any of his opponents, but referee's not seen any infringement. Tyne back in it again.
They are. Fantastic second half showing this from Shrewsbury, and it's a great cup tie. It really is a great cup tie, as Wednesday now will come forward and look for their third goal of the game. So
you're right though, it's a mentality here, isn't it? It's who's actually in the advantage. Should Shrewsbury, you know, Shrewsbury could be the one saying we're going to be pressing to get the third.
Yeah, it's Bennett on the ball now, and there might be a shooting opportunity on the edge of the area here. Shrewsbury closing the ball down. Good challenge from the Shrewsbury man, and Wally will be able to run this ball away towards halfway now. Takes it past one man. Can he get past him? Yes, he can. He's fouled. Surely fouled, yeah. And again, Sean Wally comes on and has a great impact. The way I look at it, Andy, is that if this goes to replay, Shrewsbury have got a very, very limited chance of winning the game.
Yeah.
Whereas here, roared on by their fans, the Sheffield Wednesday fans have gone silent. This is a good opportunity. All right, only 90 seconds left on the clock, plus added on time. But Tyne have continued in this second half to find space in the Sheffield Wednesday penalty area.
Yellow card for Zhao as well, as he brought down.
Yeah, Tyne free kick, 10 yards into Sheffield Wednesday territory. And it's Wally hits it, it's a high one, should be the keeper's, and it is. Lewis Price immediately smacks the ball out, looking for Wallace, and the ball allowed to bounce by Junior Brown. He's got to deal with this here, and does, turns it away for a throw. Great cup tie. This really has exploded into life in the second half. Both sides have gone forward at any opportunity they can, and Wednesday look to take this throw in. And Mickey Mellon and Mike Jackson barking instructions to their players still. It's out on the right hand side for Wednesday. Tyne have it back, and it's cleared down the line and out for a Shrewsbury throw. They're throwing inside the Shrewsbury half, and Junior Brown will take it. And it's the Tyne fans who've been in pretty good voice throughout, haven't they, Andy? It must be said. Who are making the noise now.
They have been in good voice. It was a fixture, to be honest, I wasn't entirely looking forward to in respect to the fans, in that Shrewsbury haven't been able to get as many in the stadium as probably we could have sold. One or two reasons. Sheffield Wednesday got a full end, and you'd have thought Sheffield Wednesday supporters might have been the only ones who could hear, but actually it's a lot more Shrewsbury.
Yeah, a little bit of afters here by Nahuo on
6 minutes.
It was 6 minutes to be added on at the end of this game. I don't know where on earth that's come from. I think when the Shrewsbury fans see that, I think the Sheffield Wednesday fans might be looking like going, crikey, where on earth have you got that from? Let's take it back to Hillsborough. And instead it's a chance for Shrewsbury now to attack again. The referee having a word with the huge number 9. He's got one of those horrible top knots that in a few years will be looked on upon as the mullets of the 80s, won't they?
Yeah, but he's just gone in for a tackle and had a bit of afters, and he's already been booked, hasn't he? So questions as to whether he should be off the field. That's certainly one or two Shrewsbury supporters' impression. And Akpo has come off, and Scott Vernon on for the rest of injury time. There's a slight injury for him. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
bit injury there. It's a big shaking of the hand by his manager.
Well, he's done enough to start the next game, certainly, isn't he?
Yeah.
Jordan Clark trying to nick the ball back here. Good pressure from Shrewsbury, but Wednesday keep hold of the ball, and they'll go back to their goalkeeper. 6 minutes to be played at the end of this pulsating FA Cup fourth round tie here at the Greenhouse Meadow. It's been an absolute classic second half. It really has. It's Wednesday coming forward, but they've given the ball away now to Cole. Cole out to Wally. He's under pressure. Go all the way back to Jason Leutwiler, but Leutwiler can take a touch and then hit forward over the halfway line. Jack Grimmer there challenging for Shrewsbury. He's want to throw in for his side. And Tyne, just one last chance, please. Wally, the goal scorer, second goal scorer, exchanges passes with Grimmer. Now James Wallace. Wallace flicks it down the line, deflects off a Wednesday man again. Tyne making progress down the right hand side. And it's Jack Grimmer to take this throw in for Shrewsbury. Finds Wally. Those two exchange passes again. Wally now will take on his man into the area. Jack Grimmer there. Jack Grimmer goes over again. The referee says no penalty. I think Grimmer knew it.
Yeah.
And it was the half-hearted penalty appeals from the home fans.
I think probably lucky not to get a yellow card as well there, Jack Grimmer.
Yeah.
I think he was looking at for that, wasn't he?
But Tyne find acres of space though, haven't they? At times going forward. Shown again there for, Grimmer found a lot of space in the area. Here's Sean Wally again, down the right hand side. Looks as though he's overhit that ball. It's spinning though, and Vernon will give chase, and Wednesday have to clear it back to the goalkeeper. Under pressure clears away. Tyne get back onto the second ball though with Clark, who takes the ball forward well. 2 men around him, finds Wally once more. Wally crosses in towards Vernon, it's headed away. Can Andy Mangan get onto the second ball? He can, he flicks it back to Junior Brown and then makes a beeline for the touchline. And Junior Brown takes a past 2 man, that's good. Find a good cross, Junior. He's still going, Junior Brown. Jinks one way, jinks another. Dinks it into the centre. The keeper comes and takes a comfortable frame in the end. And we'll get Wednesday going here. Both sides still attacking. And we've got 3 minutes of the 6 added on still to go here at the Greenhouse Meadow. Is there to be one last gasp stinging the tail? McGugan who flicks on, but to no one in particular, bar Jason Leutweiler, who can clear the ball forward once more. And just points forward. Some people leaving early. You do wonder, Andy. I know you said you might have to leave early, but as soon as you saw the way this game was going,
yeah, you can't then, can you?
Can you? Yeah, you understand it when Tyne are losing, but they're not, and they've got a free kick here midway also into opposition territory, which they take short to Wally once more. Vernon waits in the area. Wally tries to take on his man, can't get past him, gets it back though and finds Wallace. Oh, heavy touch from Wallace, and then a heavy pass, but Grimmer just about keeps it in. Can he find anything for Shrewsbury here? Goes back to Wallace. Wallace to Grimmer again. Grimmer takes on his man, gets a cross in. It's a deep cross, it's too deep. Andy Mangan will chase after it. There's a Wednesday man there, decent clearance away to this near side, and there's a Wednesday man there who does it ever so well to keep it in play. And it's hit forward now, and Wednesday have players forward here. Bit of a heavy touch though, and a really good challenge from James Wallace. He's knocked the lumbering number 9 to the floor. And much to the amusement of the Shrewsbury fans. Here's Wallace. Wallace will chip the ball out wide to Grimmer. Bit of space for him to run into perhaps. Instead goes back to Wally. There's a man on him, and he manages to keep possession under pressure. And then Wallace comes forward now. I just want Shrewsbury to almost play the ball over the top. That's where we've had the most success, it seems. Here's Larnell Cole. Passed a couple of players but can't find a teammate. Just one touch too many on a number of occasions this afternoon. There's a big challenge from Wallace to put the ball out for a throw. We've got about 1 minute left as I make it at the end of 6 minutes of added on time. It's been a great second half here at the Greenhouse Meadow. Forward it goes. Whitbread heads away only as far as McGugan, the real star of the day for Sheffield Wednesday. He finds Palmer around the right hand side. Dangerous crossing towards the centre as a Wednesday man goes down. The referee's not interested in a penalty, not cleared yet. Shoots an opportunity with McGugan and it's headed behind by Whitbread. Wednesday manager and all of his managerial team screaming at the officials down here, the fourth official, that there should have been a penalty. It was a clumsy challenge from Zach Whitbread. Of course, Shrewsbury have had one penalty but also had what looked like a stonewall, playing for a second penalty turned down.
Wednesday bench going absolutely bonkers. I think they had a good shout. I think that was a penalty, to be honest.
Corner kick here for the away side. Dangerous one, swung into the penalty area. It's half cleared away to the far side and played back now to Palmer just outside of the centre circle. We'll dink it back into the Shrewsbury penalty area. The number 9 waits again, nods it back into the centre, and Shrewsbury clear their lines and headed back forward now. Can Cole get there? He can. There's a break on here for Shrewsbury. Can it be played now to Vernon? Vernon on the left hand side. Players breaking forward for Shrewsbury. What can Vernon do? Vernon running towards the penalty area. Will he take on his man? Yeah, he will, to the byline. Cuts back. Can he get a shot in? Yes! Yes! Can you believe it? What a lead! Vernon looked as though he took too much time, and he hadn't. He flicked it in, and there was the on-loan Fulham man. He dashed towards the near post and headed in from 2 yards. And what a story we've got here at the Greenhouse Meadow. Town have come from behind. It's Shrewsbury Town 3, Sheffield Wednesday 2, with virtually the last kick of the game. Oh, this is why we love football. What a turnaround here at the Greenhouse Meadow. Oh, take a bow, son. Take a bow.
Unbelievable stuff.
The Sheffield Wednesday players cannot believe it. They're all stood round. They don't know what's happened here. They do not know what's happened. What a break from Shrewsbury. And Vernon, everyone was screaming for him to pass the ball. He didn't. He kept his cool. Yeah. He just dinked it into the centre, and Jack Grimmer running across his marker as if he was Alan Fleming Shearer,
wasn't it?
And nodded it in. Well done, son. And there's very little time left here, but Tyne now, well, they just need to keep their cool, keep their cool.
Need to
The
stick their
Wednesday
head. Andy
players-
Mangan's already celebrated like it's all over.
The Wednesday players losing their heads here. They're talking to the referee saying it should have been all over. Anyway, we wait for the restart here. This could be one of the famous cup victories for Shrewsbury. You can hear the town fans behind us. Oh, how long's left, referee? All eyes on him now. Restart to play. You've got to think there's going to be a little bit of time added on. So Wednesday will want to get the ball forward soon. And it's with Turner. Turner will just belt it forward. There it goes!
Yes!
And Shrewsbury have scored 2 goals in the last 10 minutes here at the Greenhouse Meadow in this incredible series of cup results for Shrewsbury. Go on, and well, the Sheffield Wednesday players surround the referee. They think they've been aggrieved, but it's one of the great cup stories in Shrewsbury's history, and this season of up and downs just goes on. And Andy, well, just incredible, and you've got to say they deserve it for that second half performance. They've come out of the blocks from minute 1 of that second half. They've really gone for it. They've caused plenty of problems, and well, what a way to win a cup tie.
The second half, no doubt about it, is there? No doubt about it. Last minute of injury time. And I'm with you. When Scott Vernon picks that ball up on the left hand side, it's Andy Mangan in the centre. Play it to Andy Mangan, play it to Andy Mangan, and he hasn't. And Andy Mangan's then also stayed back a little bit, hasn't he? He's not been so fervent in getting forward. Vernon's held it up and delivered a brilliant cross into to Grimmer, who's headed that one in a plumb into the 5th line.